Hi guys, it's Haley and he is not here, so flying solo right now. It has been like 3 weeks since I posted a video, so I wanted to give y'all an update because there are lots of new updates to give. So in our last video we talked about our different options that we had and were thinking about, and we picked an option and we are already starting to walk through it. We are doing another IVF cycle with just Evan's sperm and with Tessie. So he'll have his surgery done on the day that I have my egg retrieval done. So that's exciting. Last month we met with our doctor and she ran some more labs on me just to make sure that everything was still looking good. And my thyroid was a 3.0, which is average, but she said the success of an embryo implanting can be even better if you can get it below 2.5. So I've been on thyroid medication trying to get my thyroid down a little bit. I actually go tomorrow to do some repeat labs to see if we've gotten it down any. Like I said, it's a 3.0 when I had it done a month ago, so it's average, which is good. We're just trying to get a little bit lower so there's better success rate for implantation if we can get that far this time. So we were waiting on my cycle to come so we could start the IVF cycle, and that happened yesterday. So as of yesterday, we are officially in our second IVF cycle, round 2, which is just crazy because our first failed cycle was just in January and it just happened. So it's crazy that we're back in it so fast, but I kind of have a hard time just sitting around waiting. So I'm glad that we're back in it and we know what we're doing and we're moving forward. So the plan right now, I got my calendar yesterday from my doctor, and I really meant my cycle started 2 days ago. I know I just said yesterday. I mean 2 days ago. So on day 8 and 9, which is going to be next week on the 14th and 15th, I'll start ovulation predictor kits, so OPKs. And once I get a surge, I will call my doctor and go in for an ultrasound 2 to 7 days after, just to make sure everything looks good, make sure that I actually did ovulate, everything looks like they want it to. Then 8 days after the LH surge, I start estradiol pills. And again, if you didn't hear in the last video, the plan that we went with is the estrogen priming plan, so they call it the antagonist plan. So this IVF cycle will take, if we get embryos, it will fully take 3 months to get through. So this is a much longer process. So this first month is the estrogen priming. So I'll start on 8 days after I get the surge. I'll have 2 pills of estradiol. 9 days after the surge, I'll add in either Cetrotide or Ganirelix, which is the antagonist injection, and I'll partner that with estradiol, and I'll do that for 3 days. Then for 2 more days, I'll go back to estradiol, and then continue estradiol until I get my next cycle. And on cycle day 2, I'll go in for an ultrasound labs trial transfer, and that's probably when I will start my stems. So month 1 is, the first week is kind of just waiting around and then waiting to get that surge, and then starting on estradiol pills and the antagonist injection, and then waiting for the next cycle to come. And then that's when we start stems, and then egg retrieval, and that same day Evan has Tessie done before me, and then hopefully we can make some babies. So that's the plan, and I'm excited that we're moving forward. And I'm sorry that it's taken us so long to update y'all. Y'all have still been sending us emails and comments, which have just been awesome, and we love y'all. But I do have a few more exciting updates to share. So one of our super sweet YouTube followers reached out to me, and we started emailing back and forth. And we actually had a lunch 2 days ago, and she was so sweet. She donated us the rest of her medicine that she didn't use from her IVF cycle. So we got 4 boxes of Convalescent pins and 1 box of Menopur. And we have no insurance cover on IVF, medication, anything. What she gave us was worth $1,300. And especially since they're going to be upping my medicine a lot more than my first cycle. Our first cycle we spent $6,000. So anything helps, and that's just such a blessing to us. So it was really great to meet her and have lunch with her and, hear her story and a lot of things she said. I'm like, I feel that way too. So it's always nice to connect with people that, get you and get this process and understand where you're coming from. So if you're watching, we thank you, and such a blessing. We appreciate it so much. And then my other update is I met someone who works in the infertility world. She does a lot of talking with clinics and teaching them about like the patient side of this and some other cool things she does. But she used to work at an IVF clinic and has this embryologist friend, and I got a meeting with him. So I went and met with him and her just to talk to him more about like the back side of embryology and really what goes on a day-to-day basis in the lab, and what does an incubator look like, and their microscopes, and the petri dish is really only this big when I thought it was like that big because that's what we used in high school, so of course that's what I had imagined in my head. So I got to go meet with them, and it was so cool. I ended up spending 2 hours and 45 minutes there. I had no idea I was going to be there that long. And he and I are just talking about different lab things, and it was just such a cool experience to actually learn from an actual embryologist, because I watch YouTube videos all day long about this stuff, but to actually talk to somebody that's been practicing this for years was just so cool. So we're talking and having a good time, and all of a sudden he says, dun dun dun, do you want to see ICSI? And I'm like, yes, I want to see ICSI. And he's like, okay, let me get everything ready. So I got to stay and watch him do ICSI. Was just the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen, because we had ICSI done with our little embryos, and that's what we'll do again this time, but to actually see it in person, I sat right next to him as he did ICSI, and it was just the coolest thing to watch. I know I've read about the process and I watched the process online, but actually seeing it in person was just blew my mind. So we've got the sperm, and we got the egg, and we're ready to go, and it's under the microscope, and he's got the needles ready, and he's got his little knobs over here, so he's moving his needles here and looking in the microscope, and I'm watching a screen with what he's doing, and it looks like he's moving the needle really fast, but you actually look at the needle and the needle's like barely moving because it's so microscopic. So cool. So he gets the needles down and he goes to find the best sperm, and he had this theory about sperm getting whichever one was fastest and could get to this circle, he would pick. So he picks the fastest one, and then he slaps its little tail, and as soon as he slaps the sperm just goes, and it freezes. And I don't know why he does that, but the sperm freezes, which was really cool. And then he sucks them up in the needle, and he gets all of his little sperms, and then he goes to the eggs, and just watching the needle actually go in, and he squirts the sperm into the egg and then pulls it right out, pushes the egg down, moves on to the next one. I watched him do that to 7 eggs. I watched him do ICSI 7 times. It was the coolest thing. And then, he's done, and then went and put it in the incubator, and he'd be back to check on it tomorrow morning to see how many of those 7 actually fertilized. So it was just the coolest experience. And I haven't had such a good day in a long time. It was just like the best day ever. Actually getting to be in a lab space like that and see everything firsthand. It was so cool. So I was so excited, and I had to share that with y'all that I saw ICSI in person, which was awesome. That's really our update. We are in round 2 of IVF and praying that this works. Oh, one other small thing. This was really cool. I went and got a massage today. My hairstylist gifted me a massage, which was just the kindest thing, and I definitely need it. I carry my stress in my back, and I've definitely been stressed out. So a massage was awesome, especially since we are now actually in this. It was definitely needed. At the end, I went downstairs to meet the masseuse, and she had a cup of water for me, and she said it was just really on her heart to give me a word that she had for me, and that was that it's not my timing, it's God's timing, which I just thought was really cool, and one of those, divine appointments, one of those God moments. So, I left and I'm like, okay, God, I'm listening. I hope this round 2 is your timing. I pray that it's your timing, but if it's not, that's scripture, and if not, he's still good. So yeah, that was really cool that she did that. And oh yeah, I haven't talked to y'all in a long time. One more thing that the embryologist taught me, which was really cool, that I did not know. So, you've got all your organs, and when you stress out, you have these hormones going on in your body, and the last organs in your body to receive nutrients when you're stressing out are your reproductive organs. And you want them to receive nutrients because you want everything to be healthy and functioning well, especially while you're doing IVF. So his recommendation was to not stress while doing IVF because you want your reproductive organs to get nutrients, and they're the last ones to get nutrients when you're stressed, so don't stress. So what we're trying to do different during this cycle, not stress, because I want my reproductive organs to get nutrients, and stressing just is not good anyways. But I know that's going to be really hard, especially since this is going to take 3 months to get through, and there's just so much that goes into it emotionally, financially, physically. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I had never heard that, so I'm working on not stressing and starting with a massage, hence the massage hair today. So yeah, I think those are all of my updates, and I'm so glad that I did this, and we are back on here, and we're going to vlog our way all the way through it. So if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and we are getting this party started. We are in round 2 of IVF. Thank you so much for following along, guys. Appreciate you, all your comments, all your love. Appreciate it all. Bye, guys.